Afternoon all. How we doing? Sorry I'm late. I feel like I'm at school. I just had to deal with a person. Sorry. It's all I ever do. I seem to spend my entire life dealing with people. Explaining the same thing over and over again. But anyway. Not a bad morning. Lots of lovely shorts today. Traded lots of DAX. Made lots of shorts on lots of DAX. Caught this. Caught a short from there. Caught a short from there. Caught multiple shorts from there. And I've still got 3 running. Probably going to get stopped out and break even on the rest of this position. But this pushed back way further than I thought. There's a couple of... got stopped out there. There's a couple of... shorts I couldn't get into, but that thing pushed up really far, a lot further than I was expecting it to go today. But we've run into this accumulation, and I shorted it out of that accumulation basically, which seems to be holding at the moment. We're pulling back, so this is one of 2 things on the DAX at the minute. This is either a pullback short, which is what I'm in, or we are pushing up, ready to pull back and go long today, this afternoon. Obviously depends on what the other indices are going to be up to, but we'll see. Euro pound short. I got out the US dollar Swiss short. Whoops, wrong one. The rest of it. Obviously I took a load of profit off down here this morning. But I broke even the rest, and it literally came straight up, took me out, and now it's pushing back down again. So we will see on that. Euro pound's doing well. That's coming down nicely. I've already taken 1 off of that. I've got 2 left on, and that's nicely in profit. I'm going to leave that running. I might try and leave this running over the weekend. I'm really cautious about leaving anything running at the moment over weekends, but I might do on this. Took all the pound US dollar off this morning, obviously. I've got another entry short here. If we break these lows and take out yesterday's low, I'm going to get into another position, but we've got quite a bit of support coming up potentially. So, and we'll obviously be selling straight into ADR. So I'm not sure if we're going to get much further if we do get anywhere this afternoon on this one. So I'll see where this is. I'm going to protect this with a break-even stop. I either don't really want to hold it over the weekend, or I want it to be down here somewhere. And if it gets down there, to be honest, I'll probably take it off anyway. So I'm just going to protect that with a break even and hope we get a push down at the open or this afternoon. But we'll see. What else have I got on? New Zealand dollar yen, not gone anywhere this session. CAD Swiss. I've got that sell on. Oh, you're kidding me. Get my limit order. Missed me. So I've just got 1 position on that, which is just going up at the moment. Pound CAD, I took that long, which is a very long swing trade on the 4-hour chart. So we pushed up, pulled back. Hopefully we're going to get another leg up on that one. And New Zealand dollar CAD, I've got a buy on that. Nearly got stopped out on that one, but haven't. So sideways. And then obviously just got those DAXs on. So that's me at the minute. Ooh, blimey. Market's open. Big flurry of selling coming in. Afternoon, Peter. Neo, Burke, Luke, Diamond. Burke, did you get your EA thing sorted out? Did you figure it out? Nice moves down on the NAS at the open. I'm not going to trade too much this afternoon. This might be quite a short session. I'm going to go through the FX pairs. I'm not going to trade a lot because I've made quite a lot today. I'm 500 up. I don't really want to give it back. Same as yesterday. And then I said I will trade, and I managed to pull 800 out the bag yesterday. But don't really want to trade Friday afternoon if I can help it. It's always a bit dodgy Friday afternoons. I don't know what it is about Friday afternoons. Whether it's London just doesn't bother doing anything, but the market either seems to be ridiculously quiet and choppy or massively volatile, and I don't know, it's never a good afternoon, Fridays. Never has been. Everybody says don't trade Friday afternoons, and I never believed them, but it is actually quite annoying. But how can I measure that? Measure? You just measure. Yeah? You're asking about measuring, basically, that trade, yeah? So let's measure this trade here. Yeah, so this one here, where I got in here, and I got out here. To measure it, all you do is you get the measuring tool, which is the center button on your mouse, or this little thing up here, crosshair. Yeah? And you just click and drag. Yeah, that's 371 points, which is 37 pips. You see that number? So there's three numbers. There's a 12, 13, which is the number of candles. If I go up and down, there's 380, 330. That's your pips. And on the right of that is the price. What is that trade date? What trade date? This is today, now, this afternoon. About an hour ago. The trade date that you showed me in the Telegram group, I've got no idea. That's your screenshot. You tell me. I don't know what that trade date is. That's your screenshot. How am I meant to know? I don't even know what time frame it is. Or instrument. You just sent a screenshot of a trade. I don't know. Stopped out break even on the rest of that. Am I missing the point? I'm not sure if I'm missing what you're asking. You asked me to measure this. You said, is this... I've no idea. I don't know what this is. I can't measure this for you. You tell me how big that trade is, and then you tell me if it's half of an ADR. I can't answer this question. This is the only person in the world that can answer this question is you. I don't know how to answer that. Unless I'm completely misunderstanding what you're asking. Let's have a quick look at the... let's take that off the screen for a minute. Let's have a quick look at what we're doing on the dailies so far. DAX. We've still got this... It's debatable whether this gap fill is still there. There is technically still a gap there, which we didn't complete yesterday. We are up in the highs at the moment, up in this accumulation. I'm kind of looking for it to be heavy today. We got this big push up, so I'm worried that this is going to be a push up long. But so far today, we've had a big push down and then a big push up, and then we're kind of back to where we are. So there's no real obvious directional bias that we can draw from the DAX today. As for where it's going... as I say, this gap fill is still my number one target, really, at the minute. Nasdaq, we're looking very heavy. This is looking short to me as well, still. So obviously we're short US tech stocks. We're inside this candle, which I've got drawn, and we're flagging at the moment. So I'm kind of looking for a breakdown on this. We're still within yesterday's range completely. And all we've done basically is gap down and push up slightly. So it feels heavy. It doesn't feel like there's much buying pressure coming through on these at the moment. And obviously the same thing with the S&P. That's doing even worse. And the Dow is obviously on a negative day so far. So very difficult on all of these because we're inside bar at the moment on this massive drop that we had this week. No real clues. So... kind of just waiting for the open to open and see where we go from the open, but I'd like to see a push up and drop, so kind of out of here would be good. If we can start getting some bearish price action coming in there on the indices, I think that's kind of where I'd be looking to start shorting this stuff at the minute, but it's hard at the moment to know what to do with them. So I'm just going to let them play out for a bit. God, that's a big old candle on the NAS. And S&P. Have a quick look at Bookmap. So 42.55, there's that massive orders we've just run into and run out of. Just taking a quick short on the NAS. I'm going to go with one quick sell there. Is that 400? That's a big stop. I don't need that much. I'll reduce that down a bit at the risk. So we'll see if that holds. We've got another load of sellers coming in at 42.65. That all got absorbed there. So a lot of buying pressure coming through though. Across the board at the minute. Uh, 42.30 next level down. Yeah, there's a lot more levels to the downside to be attracted to. We've got to get a lot further up. So there's more liquidity sitting down there. The market is obviously attracted to liquidity. There's more of it down there. So we could well reach down and then try and bounce up. We'll see what happens to this liquidity if and when we get there, whether or not it gets replaced further down. But there's certainly more down than there is up at the minute. See what happens to all this when we get there. I haven't had my chart on. I forgot to turn Boocamp on this morning, so I haven't actually got any data. This is all the data I've got at the moment. This obviously is all only come in at the open. So these limit orders got placed at the open. This lot, however, was there before the open. There was some down here. So this is definitely the stronger level. There's more sellers that have been sitting in the market waiting for the market to open than there has been buyers. So hence a little bit more short bias than long at the minute, that's all. Seems to be coming down nicely at the moment. Burke, I'm asking you because that screenshot from your YouTube video. Oh, okay, I don't know. I've no idea. I couldn't tell you what that is. I've been trading with the EA for about 2 years. I've taken thousands of screenshots. I couldn't tell you what pair it is. Also, I don't know what that EA is doing. You were asking about the ADR. I've no idea if that screenshot is targeting 1 ADR, 10 ADR, half an ADR, whether it's even using ADR as a targeting method. The EA obviously has loads of different targeting methods. I've no idea even if that was using ADR. Don't forget the EA is a toolkit. There is not one way to trade with it. There is a million ways to trade with it. It's not. It doesn't just do basket trading by ADR targets. It's a Swiss Army knife. So I don't know what that screenshot was, but I would say, I don't know. I don't know what pair it is. Just no way of telling whether that was an ADR target. Can't tell you. Sorry. Not much help on that, am I? NAS, we've just swept the highs. Candle's just about to close. Hopefully this is going to close as a nice indecision candle. So we've had a push, indecision. Hopefully then we get a bear, 3-bar reversal for a short. Same thing on the NAS, DAX at the minute. Got that rhythmic delay again. Not that I'm worried about less than a second delay, but hey. We'll have a look at the FX pairs in a minute. Let's just wait for this to open up. Just want to see what happens with this open as to whether or not we're going to start to break down. So that gap that I'm targeting, is this one down here. So this is the gap from Wednesday into Thursday. Some buyers coming in now. And all we did yesterday was tap into it. And we didn't actually get down to the close of Wednesday. So technically that gap should alter that really, shouldn't I? So that technically is the gap. We haven't traded there. So market closed down here, opened there. We haven't traded in this section. So this is where I would expect at some point to get a fill in. But obviously they can do it anytime. They don't have to do it today, tomorrow, whenever. You know, they just will usually fill. Most of the time, though, within a couple of days it gets done, which means we've got to put in 125 to 150 ADR drop on the DAX today. So I don't think that is really on the cards Friday afternoon, but you never know. So news this afternoon, we had a bit of a push up on the US dollar. The GDP for the CAD came out as positive. We'll have a look at these in a minute. PCE came out as expected. There was lots of other news around this as well, but PCE is the main thing that they look at. Not a massive amount of movement. We did get some US dollar movement, but it wasn't particularly dramatic. Hello, change charts. See, we had a bit of a spike up. That was it. So yeah, we're just taking those highs out. So yeah, nothing really moved there. With the CAD, we got a little bit of a drop on the CAD, but again, nothing dramatic. New Zealand dollar had a big spike. Didn't see that one. Oh yeah, so that was one nearly took my stop out. So that's actually that's good, because they've just basically done a liquidity run on everybody that's entered any long positions and put their stops under the lows. So that actually bodes quite well for a push to the upside. That was the CAD news. So there wasn't a massive amount of movement off of any of this. It was all a bit disappointing, unfortunately. Euro pound's opening quite short. That's good. So we've got some sellers starting to come in now. Good wick rejection. So 42.30 below the opening range low is where we've got a load of liquidity sitting, and then we've got two levels below that. So basically this is where all that liquidity is sitting down here. So if we break this level, we've got one more batch down there to get through. If that's gone, we should be good for shorts today. Failing that, we're down to 41.50. Look, a little bit of money down there, but not a lot. All the upside liquidity still sitting there as well. Come on. So I want to see a pop through here. So there goes that liquidity pool at the open. Just been absorbed. Oh no, it hasn't got there yet. Sorry. bit of a mixed bag coming in at the moment. There's no it's way more bearish at the minute than bullish, but there's the odd buying coming in, so there's no real consensus of solid shorts or solid longs. Much more short than long though at the minute, but I should really not be trading the DAX. I should be trading Nasdaq, but I happen to have got into the DAX, and that's the one that is not interested in going short with the rest. I just want to see what we get down here. So if we crack that level, we've got orders sitting here. There's lots of, I mean, there's so much to get through to the downside here, isn't there? We've got all this chop. If we're going to go down today, we've got loads of potential support levels, so it's going to be quite a hard run to the downside if they're going to try it. DAX is really springing off. When the sellers stop, the DAX is really pricking its ears up. So I'm going to get out of that. It might still go, but we're kind of range bound at the minute. Some buying starting to show as well. It's going to be a choppy one, I think. Oh, for God's sake. We're just about to get an opening range break to the high here. We've got 20 seconds left. We'll see what happens with this candle, but looks bullish. We didn't get down to that liquidity pull down there. Right, and we haven't got a lot of activity, any activity there at all. So it's basically what we replaced up there, but okay, so we've got an opening range break to the high. We're also trouble with buying an opening range break when we've been sitting in a sort of sideways like this is you're buying straight into resistance. And obviously if you're buying into resistance, there's a good chance that you're immediately going to turn around when you buy and just immediately stop out. I'd much rather sell this up there with a very tight stop if we get signs of rejection. So I'm just going to see what happens if we get a decent wick on this here and we start rejecting these highs. I'll short it, but if we break out of there, I'm not quite sure where we're going on the DAX. because you've got nothing really. If we break these highs, there's just nothing for 150 ADR today, which is not. I'd be very, very surprised if it manages to do anything close to that on a Friday afternoon. It's good rejection. I've got 3 minutes left. It's a real. Obviously, there's a lot of buying coming in. We've been seeing. We're not really getting anywhere with these buyers, so I'm just going to stick a sell stop under this low. Might well get gathered up onto this way before the candle closes, but we seem to be meeting a lot of resistance up here. Market's unsure. I think we're still going to come down for these lows. A couple of times we've seen this week where we're hovering exactly around the opening price 15 minutes after the open. In short one on the DAX. With the opens, you either get that breakaway run, and you have to be in on it fast. You've got to make that decision. On the opening range break, or one way or the other, or we're going to rotate, in which case then you can wait for the opening range break to happen, but you'll quite often get whipsawed out a lot at the open. So we either go and you've got to get in on it quick, or we kind of do that sort of really slow movement, which is no use to anybody because you just get chopped around and you have to be kind of on 1 minute charts. But by the time you've identified you need to be on 1 minute charts, you've been sitting on the 5 minute chart for 30 minutes watching it go up and down. It's an impossible scenario. So, which is why I kind of like to have an opening bias. And my opening bias is still short because of the gap. There's a lot of rejection up at these highs, but it's just indecision at the minute, isn't it? We'll leave that to play out for a minute. So I've got one short. I've got a fairly tight stop on it because I don't want to. If it breaks these highs and holds above these highs, we're either going to go into a wide, horrible, choppy mess, or we're going to run away to the upside. So I might think about building a position long, but I can't see where we're going. There's nowhere to go for ages. There's potential, I guess, to come into this area here today, I suppose, but lots buying. Okay, so got new highs on the DAX, S&P and Nasdaq. We're not making a massive amount of headway. We're still obviously inside this range we've got so far. Nasdaq's trying for new highs. Yeah, I can take it out. I'm going to call it quits there. It looks like a long. I can't see where it's going long, so I don't really want to trade it. My bias is short on it. It's left all this behind. 43.12 to the upside on the S&P, which is miles away. It's yesterday's high. So yeah, opening range break long. Missed it now, so can't trade it. If you want to get long on it, you can wait for a pullback if you get a pullback. But like I said, this is the problem at the moment with this market. It doesn't give you a pullback. It basically moves to where it wants to go, and then it goes sideways and chops you about for days on end. So you either need to hit the buy button now, get in. There's nowhere to put your stop. You just got to be lucky it doesn't come back and get your stop. Or you can hope for 1 or 2 bar pullback and go long. Potential upside on this is absolutely huge. So we've broken these highs. Well, we're double topping. I mean, at the moment, we're double topping. But there's nowhere to stop. Jeez, look at that go. What do we think? Dow's doing the same. God, I just want to short that. I really want to short that. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll give it all back. It's hard to get in with a long on that. Really is. I just got a feeling we're going to see a load of sellers coming through and we're going to see a horrible load of chop. But there's nothing for miles on the S&P either, so it does bode well for going long today. Interesting note from Luke. I've been backtesting Donchian channels for opening range breakouts and potential follow-through trends. Seems to work quite well. Yeah, Donchian channels basically are just market structure breaks. So yeah, they do work well because they're market structure. So yeah, I mean, Donchian is a breakout strategy. I looked into them at some point, but I never. At the time I looked into them, I never got anywhere. They can't even get into this. It's gone. You've missed it. Anybody take the opening range break to the high? And silence. I think I've got a Donchian somewhere. I haven't got it on this platform. I have got it somewhere. What was I looking at that? Somebody said about that the other day. It was Donchian. Oh, with Renko. It was Donchian channels with Renko. Your phone rang and you missed it. Distracted. Yeah. If you missed it, you missed it. Tweezer tops. That's where you want to put a long, because this thing could just literally just go like that and then go boing. I just don't know where it's going on any of these at the minute. 40 pips off the opening range. Yeah, I mean, it's just 60 in total since we broke out. That's nuts. It's a huge move. Now it's retracing. So this is where you want to start building a long position. If you've got a long conviction on this, start scaling into longs as it comes down. Get a nice average. Get the pop. If you've got that much conviction long, I haven't got that much conviction long on this. Too scary. Yeah, but Donchian and Renko's was somebody's strategy they sent me to look at automating it. And I can't automate anything with Renko. Renko's too dodgy on MT4 and MT5 to try and do any automation with it, because Renko's are calculated off of a start bar, and that will be different on each platform, each broker. It just doesn't work. It works well, it draws well, but it's never going to be 100% accurate for everybody, so it doesn't look that good. But yeah, that was the strategy, was using Donchian breakouts with Renko bricks, because the Renko brick basically, when it breaks out of the channel, that's your long. And if it breaks back down, well, it doesn't look like that, does it? If it breaks back down, that's your exit. And he saw it as quite a good strategy as well. But it's just very, very similar to market structure. You'd have had a break there, so you get pretty much the same signal, roughly. Okay, so there's lots of selling coming in now. Be interesting to see what happens if we get back down here. In fact, we just have wick tested there. So we're going to leave a whacking great propulsion gap here at the minute when this candle closes. But if you've got a long bias, now is when you want to be hitting that button. Okay, so that level is definitely in play, that 42.50. So return back to here. And then a bounce, potentially. Just going to scale into one on the S&P. I'm going to take 3 small positions. One now, one here, and one there. So I'm using this as a springboard to try and get a long position on. If we're going to go long, because the DAX certainly looks like it wants to go long, I'm going to build a position with 3 positions in there and stop out under these lows. If we completely engulf this initial propulsion candle, I'm out. So I've got 1 position on it at the moment. I'll take another on a breakout of this double top. So that would give me, if we got them all on, 4 positions long. I don't think I'm going to get a second on, but we'll see. I'm just sticking buy limits in basically. And then stop at the lows. I'm going to put the stop just here. Just going to get an opportunity to take that liquidity, but not get me. I'll put it in here actually, so let's do it on here as well. I have no idea what position size I need on this. You're kidding me. It literally missed. I've got a limit order. It literally missed my limit order. Look. Missed it again. So we're bouncing off of this liquidity that we saw on Boocamp. The other thing I've noticed about Boocamp, you quite often get these kind of, I guess you could just call them near misses, where we get down and it's as if the market is scared of that liquidity, which it should be scared of that liquidity because you need a lot of selling pressure to get through there. So anybody selling into this is going to be thinking, I don't think we're getting through there, and they take their money off here and become a buyer, and obviously everybody sees the buyers come in, which causes them to go that way. But you see a lot of these near misses where we just get to it and then we sort of fly away from it, and then obviously we start to absorb those orders there. This is a tiny little position. Oh, you're kidding me. You didn't give that to me. Really? Oh, come on. There we go. No, I got it on my other platform. I didn't get it on this one. I didn't get filled. Oh my God. It's going to go without me. Okay. See if we get our liquidity coming through, but right, it's Friday afternoon. Just running the danger of that sort of price action. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, pushing down again. Another leg. We'll have a look at the FX pairs after this, to see if we can get this position on. Doesn't want to give it to me, does it? Really doesn't like that one. Sorry, bear with it. Turn that off. Didn't get it, look. Typical. It's as if it knows I'm there. Look, literally. What's this? 5th, 6th attempt we've had at that? There we go, I'm in. God, I hate it when he does that. Right. Okay, so if we're going long, that's my position. If we're not, I'm out down the lows. So basically looking for this propulsion gap here. Obviously, we've accumulated, broken the highs, and now we're putting back for next leg long. So this is where all the liquidity is sitting for the buyers that started this move, and obviously should now move up to the next liquidity pool for the buyers, which is up at the highs gradually, which is a long way away. So just targeting a move, basically a swing move all the way up to there this afternoon. How long it's going to take, I don't know. Could get up there in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, could take an hour. Could well just chop all day. No idea, obviously. But a lot of support down here. Obviously built up when we started struggling at these lows. But I'll be out if we break down there anyway. So, market makers watching your stream. Yeah, they're always watching my stream. Don't think the market makers have time. The market makers nowadays just sit there watching algorithms, making sure that their computers are trading properly for them. Don't think there is such a thing as individual market makers anymore. It's all about the algos. And that's what you can see here. You know, this is what Boocamp is showing us. It's showing us the algorithms placing their individual trades in the market. These are not human beings. Some of them are human beings, obviously. But the vast majority of that is algo. That's why you see it all moving around so much. See these gaps forming. So, yeah, algo places a trade. Market moves towards it. Algo pulls that and moves it away. Yeah, good example there. Pushes down. Algo pulls its trade. Moves it. Spoofing. This is what you used to do. This is what the humans used to do. But now the algos just do everything. You can't compete with an algorithm that is taking trades in a hundredth of a second, making decisions and changes in a hundredth of a second. You just can't do it. Come the bulls. The bull algos. So we've got two areas to get through. So they are looking, we're basically stuck at the minute in an accumulation here. So we need to break these highs. If we can't get through this 42.62 level and 42.65, we're just going to come down and retest this level. So that'll be a stop out. So looking for the buyers to come in here is not happening. Told you I shouldn't be trading this afternoon. Kiss goodbye to another $250 on the live account, on the funded account rather, I should say. There we go. I'm out, stocked out. Okay, that's the end of me for FX. We've still got one on. How's that? For the indices. So let's have a look at Sorry, just close all these testers down. Let's have a look at where we are index-wise. FX-wise. So we've had a few ADRs hit today. Aussie dollar Swiss. Just turn that volume down a little bit. Aussie dollar Swiss got an ADR hit. That obviously hit up to the upside. We got a lovely M pattern reversal this morning off of that one in London. And that's obviously all collapsing down now. Aussie dollar, US dollar, off the back of the that was just before the US dollar move. Nice head and shoulders pattern there, one that worked or is working at the moment. So that's come off the highs as well. CAD Swiss, so good amount of Swiss movement that sells in profit now. So it looks like we've got some Swiss franc strength coming through at the moment. Any other Swissies? Yeah, pound Swiss as well. So good moves on the Swissy. US dollar Swiss obviously took me out, and then it's decided to come down. Typical. So there's a few ADR hits. Pound US dollar hit to the upside. I got out of this one from yesterday at ADR today. We did push up to 125, but we've come off of 125. So this US dollar, as I say, we haven't had this movement on the US dollar. This weakness, we are down, but we are not dramatically down. This stinks like yen to me. Little bit of a sign of weakness, and then a slam up to the upside. We're getting exactly the same thing happening here, aren't we? With the US dollar. So a little bit of a push down, but not dramatic. So we've got FOMC next week. So I got a feeling that maybe next week is when we're going to start to see some movement off of that. Jesus, look at this. Why didn't I short it? Can't sell it down there. You could do the same thing with this on a pullback if it bothers. So we're just tapping into the lows here. We'll probably get a little bit of a retracement here. You could scale into a short. That's the best thing to do. Get a decent average. Obviously, if this thing just goes, you're in it. If it pulls back, you're going to get a better average, and then when it goes, you're going to have a nice short at it. We just made new lows on the S&P. Horrible market today. It's Friday afternoons. They kill. Look at that. Reversal alert. Buying reversal alert. Chop. You watch this thing now, just do that. Take out those highs, then come back down and take out those lows. They're just there to rip us off this afternoon. Anyway. So yeah, RSI is ADRs, pound US dollar. So not convinced on these at the moment. Euro US dollar is the same thing. We haven't had enough US dollar weakness, so I'm looking for FOMC next week. We could well see the US dollar just kind of go sideways over the next few days, early next week, because obviously FOMC is on Wednesday. So I suspect they might try and keep within this range next week. Obviously, you can see this week we've had an up and we've pulled back down again. We haven't gone anywhere since Monday. This is our Monday open here. We're back exactly where we started. All they've done this week is push up and pull back. So I suspect we'll be doing that Monday, Tuesday as well. So it's not really worth getting into anything US dollar, which is why I'm kind of keen to get flattish if I can today. RSIs, we've got nothing. CAD Swiss. Obviously on the hourly, that's what I've taken short. It didn't grab my second limit on that up at, above ADR. It came up to exactly, I think there was that level, wasn't it? Yeah. Is that daily? Yeah, it's that daily level. I put my limit order just above that level because I was expecting them to come and sweep that high. Can't really see it. Yeah, so there's a double top there. So I was expecting them to basically sweep it. They have done, but not quite far enough. Didn't grab my limit. So I missed the second entry on that, but first entry was obviously back in profit now. This is Swiss franc strength we've got coming through at the moment. It's very temporary, most of the Swiss franc strength. 4 hour, very nicely extended, and we're coming off the highs. So I should be looking for no more than really that on that one. See if we can get down to there. I doubt we're going to make that today. So I'm going to assess everything later. I'm going spinning at 5. So when I get back from that class this evening, I'll have a look at where the positions all are, and I'll decide what I'm going to hold and what I'm going to close out for the weekend. So that's the only one you've got on the hourly extended, and obviously that's coming out of extension now. So that's what you should have been taking earlier today. That's actually what I took as well, obviously there, but it's pushed up for a second leg. 4 hours. A lot of this is started to reverse. So this was lit up a lot, wasn't it? So Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. We're up at these highs. We look like we've slowed down. So for the last sort of 12 hours, we have not really gone anywhere, not made any progress up at these highs. So we're not up at the ultimate high at the minute, but we're pretty close, and we've had a very good run, and we're very tired. So should get a pullback, but difficult to see when it's going to happen. The problem is obviously we've got Australian dollar news next week. We've got the rate announcement on Tuesday, I think it is. Tuesday is the rate announcement, which is going to be an increase. And then we've got New Zealand dollar unemployment coming through as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for movement off of both the Australasian pairs next week. We're tapping back down into this zone now on the indices. We've taken the first level out, sat there and accumulated. We're having a crack at this second level, all being absorbed at the moment. See if they get through that. I'd be very surprised if they can continue straight through that without having a bit of a pullback, but there we go, we're getting some pullback on it now. Next level is 42.17. Why did I not stick with my original idea? Next time I tell you where it's going and I ignore myself, shut me up and tell me which way to go. So annoying. After that level, we've not really got anything much. Down to 41.50. So I just slightly worried that we're going to just see that today. So if you get into any shorts, you might well get chopped around. So I'd use wide stops, small positions, and try and scale into positions so you can get out of them this afternoon. It's probably the best thing to do, just in case. So Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Obviously, we had the reversal alert, push down, one strong move, reversal alert again, push back up. It's difficult to tell if we're going to get the drop from here, but I would imagine nothing's going to happen until Tuesday, Wednesday next week. CAD Swiss, already in, covered that one, 4 hour extension. CAD Yen, that one's just extended as well, kind of missed it, not really interested in taking shorts against the yen, looking for longs. Euro CAD, again, not looking for longs on the euro. Same with the pound CAD, these guys are looking the same. So pound CAD, I've got this long on. We looked at this one this morning, so this is a daily support bounce that I'm playing, which is a swing. This is either going to work or it's not. So this is literally a big, I'm not going to hold it up to there. There's no way I'm holding it that long. I don't hold trades that long. I'll be out somewhere around here. But pretty good level there. decent risk reward. It's either going to work or it's not. The problem at the moment is we've got a very strong Canadian dollar and a very weak pound. So the conditions that we got for the bounce there are not in play at the moment. So we could just see that sort of movement. We'll see. But I'm going to hold that one. It's only a tiny little position. So I'm just going to hold that for the minute. That's extended on the daily. That's extended on the 4 hour. And it was extended on the hourly yesterday as well, when the trade idea sort of started to come together. New Zealand dollar CAD, we are nicely extended. I've got the buy on that one at the moment. Again, just looking for some short-term Canadian dollar weakness. We're not getting it. So that one potentially is going to stop out as well. But let's see what happens on that. Very nice extension, but we've been embedded based on the Canadian dollar strength for a long time, which is again adding to the reason for taking the trade, because we've been embedded for such a long time. We've had 2 solid weeks of downward movement. This is the third. If you look at it on a higher time frame chart, you can see just how far we've moved. When you get a daily RSI extension that gets embedded, it's not long before you get at least a pullback, if not a retracement completely from it. So yeah, we're going to get that pullback. Might be in it a bit early because of the Canadian dollar strength. We've had more Canadian dollar strength again today. GDP's up, so you know it may well get absorbed down here, but it's a good zone. We looked at this earlier, didn't we? These 2 lines you can see here is a support area from way back when in here, but again, it's not the strongest, but it's a good trade idea. Everything's very, very extended. We're due a pullback, so we'll see. Accumulation for 2 days, and accumulations form ahead of propulsion breaks, so we'll see. The only other thing I think we've got extended is US dollar Swiss, which I got those profits off of, and I've just broken even on the last 2 positions. So nice potential M pattern reversal. You see where my initial target was, is just above this accumulation. I'm just not convinced by this price action. What we got today on the US dollar, I'm not convinced that the US dollar is going to weaken, but we'll see what happens at FOMC next week. Oh, DAX. Oh, DAXy DAX. Where are we going? Where are we going? Still going. Wherever we're going, we are still going there. So obviously that's the target. Yesterday's low, 150. If you want to take a short on this, we have just broken that low. The difficulty with getting into this type of position, you're selling into support, just like I was buying into resistance. So the difficulty we have today is potentially to do that sort of pattern, and we're going to go with a daily doji. If we break these lows, we're breaking into an accumulation from yesterday, of which case you're going to find a lot of potential buyers somewhere down there. But that is the ultimate target. So I just can't see us selling off in the next 4 or 5 hours. It's going to have to be an all-day sell-off, isn't it? It's going to have to be an absolute collapse to get down there. So we could well make headway somewhere towards ADR, and then have a little pullback and do this on Tuesday next week. Sorry, it's Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not here Monday. Ooh. So that's ultimate target. Obviously, we just had the reversal alert. Be wary of the retest. So reversal alert, retest, drop. Yeah. So somewhere in here, you've got an opportunity if we pull back to scale in. If you want to get in here, get in with a position that allows you to scale in with a stop up there. and try and get into in position that way. But it does look short. They all look short. They've all just made new lows. The only thing that hasn't made a new low is the FTSE. The Dow has collapsed. Look at the Dow. Not happy. So all markets are selling off very hard. So nice short. So if you're going to get in with some indicators, some positions that allow you to scale in this propulsion gap if we come back and retest it. And then look for market structure high, low, high, low. It's got half a chance of working that today, I think. Which indicators do I use, Vink? Lots. All on the website. Links down in the description. But it's the market reversal alerts indicator, RSI, and I use ADR, and that's about it, really. And obviously my dashboards for RSI and ADR. Anybody got any other pairs they want to have a look at this afternoon? Oh, and wide range bar, yeah, sorry, the Armand just pointed out, and wide range bars, which are these lines here. So you can see why we've stalled. We just run straight into that massive liquidity pool sitting down there. There's a load of liquidity come in to prop that up as well. So bodes well for a pullback into this area. I would expect to see a load of orders start to build up at this level at some point soon. If we push up, if we don't push up and we're going to absorb all of that and we're going to get another selling rally, obviously that won't appear. But if we start to pull back, I should imagine we will start to potentially replace that zone there. Or start to stick some orders in there. But we're taking this lot out fairly convincingly at the minute, chewing away at the orders. There we go, just pop that level quite convincingly. Very strong move. We're approaching potential support on the DAX, but I don't think it's going to make any difference whatsoever. So that level on the DAX, if we're going to continue to do this on the US indices, the DAX isn't going to hold up. So I'll be watching this level 13973 if you're getting short on this for an entry. I was just toying with the idea of entering a short. I've entered a short on my funded account on it. I've taken an entry there, but I was just toying with the idea of taking one on this account here, and then that's why I moved my stop to 1,000, which would put me up there. I was just going to take a short there with a view of scaling in on the way back, but we don't look like we want to go back today. This thing's going down hard. So hard to get in. So hard to get in when it starts doing this. You get literally, it's candle after candle after candle. There is no entry. There is no pullback. No opportunity to get in for the last half an hour on the Nasdaq. Just down. These days are so hard when it does this. If you're in it though, you just don't get out. If it doesn't give you a green candle, don't get out. Probably best thing to use as well if you want to give yourself a trailer is stick a 9 on. Or a 5. 5 is a bit aggressive. 9 is a better one, I think. So do not get out until that closes above the 9 if you're in on any of these. Let the market just do its thing and assume we are going to get an aggressive sell-off this afternoon. Okay, so buyers stepped in again. It's a few starting to enter now. Profit taking off of this. I would imagine this is what we're seeing. $42.30. Got some sellers starting to build. Yeah, so the 42.30 level, if those sellers that are coming in there hold, you're going to find that happen, and that 9 MA will keep you in. If you look at a trend like this one, yeah, if you're getting short on that bearish engulfing, that was the first time you had a signal potentially to get out. Yeah, if you got in again when it broke, that's when it got you out. And if it's moving that fast and that hard, if you look at this yesterday, yeah, you got in long. Even when we went like that, you know, did give you 9 really, really helps to keep you in there. If you're sitting on the 9, you're not out, you're sitting on the 9. It's a really good one to use for trailing. Not for trading stops, because you will get wicked out through it, but for manual trailing. So if we get a close below, hit the close button. Don't let a trailing stop take you out, because a trailing stop will take you out every time. Or, as was it Peter said yesterday, have a look at Heikenashis or Renkos. So we're just entering point of control. It's basically where the most volume has been traded for the session. Decent selling coming in again, attacking this level. I'm just entering a sell stop on my DAX under here. So I'm just basically looking for a flag break to add into the position. So I've got one there, going to add one here. And then if we break those lows, I'll add one more. I'm just going to put that in now actually. It's all gone quiet. Hey, somebody bought something. Finally. Tweezer bottoms going in. Could this be the start of the pullback? DAX was obvious short, but they just stopped us out. Yeah, stop run. Comes some buyers anyway. There's some buying up down there. Worrying thing is, this could potentially be a stop run as well. If they're going to just hold us today and do a rotation day. This is where they're going to rotate from. And obviously these buyers did not get taken out by the sellers. So yeah, that level held. And they've added to it as well. Only one big order in there though. This is all retail and all small lot sizing, so this could easily get taken out by one institutional sale. Just look to see if there's any big numbers start to drift in up here. We could see some big sellers start to step in, but that's that order's just been pulled. Actually, there was a big institutional order in there. It's just been pulled. Little white line. You can't see it. There's one there. There's one. There's a couple there. There's one there. You can hardly see them, but there was one big institutional order in there that just got pulled. There you go. You see it there. Gone. So a lot of selling to take that out. We'll see if we can get that next move down. It's a lot of buyers now, so I got a feeling we might start to slow down a little bit. Devira, can I know how to work the indicator? Which indicator are you talking about? CAD Swiss, we just hit ADR. So that short's down to 125 now. Blimey, look at that. I'm approaching TP on this at 125 ADR, so I'm going to take it off. In fact, what I'll do is, rather than do that, I'll just take a 100-point trailer on it. And remove my TP. So I'll just get out of that when it starts to pull back off of ADR. So we've basically done pretty much, look, from there we got the reverse alert. We've done ADR in one move, 125 ADR basically in one move. So I'm just going to trail that and get out because it's so close to TP anyway. Whoops, missed. New lows on the S&P. So these orders have been sitting here now for good 15 minutes, patiently waiting. There's a lot of people trying to long this mean reversion. A lot of people trying to mean revert this at the minute. We seem to be having more and more sellers stepping in. You can see how many buyers there are now. Look, compared to sellers, so we are starting to outnumber. You can see divergence starting to creep in. So what you're seeing here is divergence. Bullish divergence forming in the market. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, just means that there are a lot more buyers now sitting here wanting to long this than there are people wanting to sell it. It's whether or not the institutions are going to keep stepping in and absorbing all these buyers down here, and obviously as soon as they push down their puke, they become sellers, and it just creates that tumbling effect. We're starting to bottom out on DAX. Typical. I picked DAX to trade. Just got gathered up into another position as well. Let's see if this keeps selling. Gold, Devira. So what do you want to know about gold and what time frame? I'm going to close that out. I just closed out that DAX. We're very exhausted, obviously. We've got lots of rejection down at these lows, and we're accumulating. Just worried about a push back up into this area, and if we push back up into this area, I'm just going to leave it alone. I think now we're not getting that push. Here we go. Now it's going to go, isn't it? I don't want to hold it any longer. It's getting too scary down there when you get that extended. Here we go. There we go. Wow. Bookmap seems to have frozen, look. Oh, there we go. We're back. Data gap there, look. Not sure what that was. I was just going to say, this looks like it's all being absorbed down here. All this selling. We're not making any headway, are we? So I'd be looking for a pop from here. We're still selling into this and not getting anywhere. DAX is chewing up all the orders as well, all the shorts. It's nothing. We're not getting through this level. $125 on the pound odd. Straight up. So this is Australian dollar weakness we've got coming through at the moment. Massive sell-off on the Aussie. No idea why this is coming down so hard. Bank of Australia. European stock funds have seen withdrawals for the 11th week in a row, totaling 3.4 billion. We have paid a payment agent in dollars. Well done. So yeah, some news just come out. Bank of Australia at 212. There we go. Obviously, they didn't like that. Okay, here come the buyers. Oh my God, look at that. Stop on that thing. Going to try one long and see if we can get pushed back up into this propulsion gap. It's a big sell-off. It may well continue to go on the other indices, but we just tapped into support on the Nasdaq. Look there. So this is where we bounced off multiple times. Bounced there, bounced there. We're bouncing again. Euro New Zealand, ADR. Obviously that's a euro hit to the upside. So potential short opportunity there. Okay, I'm just entering a couple of longs on the DAX. I'm going to go with the buy stop above the highs again there as well. Quite tight stops on these. Looking for basically them to correct this move It'll either work or it won't. If it works, it's going to be fairly lucrative. Pound New Zealand 125. New Zealand dollar seems to be selling off as well. So Aussie and New Zealand moving in tandem. New Zealand dollar yen, I've just gone back to break even on that. I'm just going to close that out. That's a shame. I don't really want to hold that New Zealand yen. If this this sell-off on the Aussies is going to continue, we could see 200% ADR, so I don't really want to hold that. New Zealand dollar CAD, I will get stopped out on as well if we take out these lows. What is going on with this New Zealand? Crazy moves. Whoops. So we didn't take out the highs on the S&P. So market structure shifted now, potentially bullish, but we need to break this high and head back up to this 42.20 level if we're going to show signs of being bullish. There's an awful lot. This had to end at some point, this selling rally. This lot's been in here for a long time waiting for the market to get down there, and as you can see, there's a huge absorption of those orders, those sellers down here. They didn't manage to get through that level, so we could well see this fully buy back up this afternoon. So if you're short, you're still short on the 9. Still not telling you to get out yet. Although with that amount of buyers coming through, I'd be thinking seriously about it, but let the market tell you what to do. Jesus, that just gapped down there, look. Just moving my stops to break even. I don't like that. I hate gaps. If it gaps like that, that was a big order on the DAX, just came through there. Same on the S&P, big order came in. Oh, brilliant. And now I've got a platform freeze on my Forex funds. I need to get out. Come on, reconnect. My break-even levels here on my Forex funds account. There we go, I'm back in. So I'm watching this wick. See what type of reaction we get there. US dollar yen just hit ADR, and Swiss yen. Big sell off. Strength coming through on the yen, look. Couldn't make it up, could you? This market at the minute. Massive strength on the yen. It's awful. This market is just awful at the minute. Literally turns on a dime every single day at the moment. If you hold anything for more than a day, you're in serious trouble of being wrong. Fed potentially looking to feed in 0.75 basis points in June. Sellers coming in. Stopped out break even on those. Should have taken that percent off. I'm still in it on the other account. Stop moved to these lows. The only reason I'm still in it on the other account, because the other account I'm trading 15 lots, and I didn't want to take a break even on it. Shouldn't really have taken a break even there, but potentially having another run at these lows. Hopefully, we haven't managed to make a new low there, so hopefully this level is going to hold up, and we'll push from here. Just going to get back in one more there. Second long. If I get to 1% this time, I'm getting out. Quite, this would be a nice trade to finish the week off with. I've done 4,200 this week on the funded account. Uh, 190 now today. Was up just under 500, but I've got 300 running, so pretty much back up to 500. It'd be nice if I can get this moved back up. If we can get this moved back up into this propulsion gap here, that'd be a 5k week, which would be very, very, very nice. That's the mortgage and the bills done, and the car payment. Next week, buy a summer holiday. Wow, that was an easy bounce. There's not a lot of buyers in this market today, as we know, because obviously we've dumped a lot, but that really didn't take any effort whatsoever to bounce off of there. The buyers all jumped ship very, very, very quickly. That was a scalp. So just got to be a little careful. Could just be a run up again. Try and crack this level. And head back to our favourite level, 4,200. Literally every single day of the week. This week we have seen 4,200 at some point. I've been mentioning this level for weeks. We are not going anywhere. This 4,200 is just like bouncing, bouncing, crashing, bouncing, bouncing, crashing. We literally are. We've been playing 4,200 for weeks. A lot of orders there again. Can I put my MFF link in the group? Feel like giving the evaluation account a try after the 1st of May. I can do that. I'll have to find it. I'll post it in there. In the Telegram group. Oh, it's coming down. That's just unbelievable. 1% profit, let that go to break even, re-add the position, take a 1% loss. There you go. So that's why you use the 9. In a trend, in a strong trend, obviously. Don't use the 9 for anything else. Doesn't work for anything but strong trends, really. I'm just going to reduce risk below this low. Funded account stop is there. So the market structure is holding at a double bottom at the minute. We've just put in a new high. So this low here, obviously we would expect to be market structure for a long. We could retest that level again. If that breaks, I fear we will probably have another leg down. So I want to be out. Got it wrong today. I've just completely flipped it wrong. Afternoon. I said short. We broke to the upside. What I should have been looking for was short entries up there. I let that run away from me. And we're probably going to end up doing the gap fill now. But obviously for the short play, I would have been looking for this as a short play anyway, somewhere in here, and we didn't get there. We're just flagging at the minute. Half-hour accumulation. Come on, Netflix, help me out. Double bottomed. Still got 3.5 minutes left on this candle though, so this could go absolutely anywhere. So I've made a higher high. We have not managed to make a lower low at present. So buyers are still holding up at the minute. Obviously this is the candle at the minute which is in charge, so whichever way we break out of this propulsion move will probably be the next direction. I'm a bit too tight on my stops on this, unfortunately. My stops down here, as I said, on the other account. So we're out. Okay, so we've taken out that low. Next stop, 4,200. So I'm out on the funded as well. No, I'm not. They just missed me. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Come on, let's have a load of buyers tick in now, shall we? That's what I was looking for holding. Hopefully they've just done a little liquidity run on that. We'll see. You see how choppy it is, though. I mean, we like green, red, just not a good day, is it? For the European indices, US is much more clean cut. So that's basically about $300 loss. This is about 1,000 profit up here. Not enough buyers. Funny old market structure though. So got a rounded bottom forming. Is there anything good going for it at the minute? We have got a lot of buyers sitting down here, but there's just not enough buying continuation. So every time we get a little flurry of buyers coming through, they're getting stomped. Can't get above point of control. Just not able to get up today. So this is bullish as well. When you look at market profile, you get D, P, and B. This is a B-shaped profile at the moment, which is bullish. And then you get the booby-shaped profiles. Pound Swiss and pound CAD both 125. Look at that. I could rocket. Huge strength suddenly come in on the pound out of nowhere. And the euro. So the pound, interestingly, is stronger than the euro at the minute, which is good because I'm short euro pound. Quite glad about that. Wow, big moves. So this euro pound, I think I'm going to start trailing this now. 117. I'm going to put 120 trailer on it. I'm just going to get out of this for the weekend. So if we do get a continuation down, I'm just going to get dragged out of that. I'm not going to add this third position on. Not much point. I'm not going to hold it over the weekend, I've decided. We're holding this this neckline at the minute. So if we do get a push down to ADR today, I think it's unlikely we'll get much further. So I'm just going to take whatever that's going to give me. It's time to push up. I was thinking would be either really busy to close out the month or really slow because they don't want to add positions at the end of the week month. No, we've had the profit take this week. We've had a lot of volatility this week. I don't think we're going to get much of a flurry this afternoon. I think this was the move. And again, we've seen this so many times, haven't we, this week? We've seen a move, a reversal, and an accumulation. We're either getting these crazy moves or we're getting the kind of smaller candlesticks, which tend to be exactly this sort of pattern. We're getting a lot of this. They will want to come and pull back up into that area, definitely. But obviously the problem at the minute is we've got that pull down to the gap still as well. So what I'm hoping they're going to do is pull back up into there, find some liquidity and push down. But we don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But whatever we're doing at the moment, it ain't happening fast. I'm just going to hold that. So you know what I've got on the DAX. My stop is literally there. So I've got a long position. I'm holding up to there. I'm either getting out here, which is highly likely I'm going to be out before the end of the stream anyway. So I'm either getting out there, and that'll be me done for the week, or we're going to push up and I'm going to exit up there. It's not a massive loss down there, so but it's a nice reward up there. Other than that, all I've got on at the moment, I can take that pending off. Get rid of that. So euro pound, I've obviously got those two shorts on, which are just being trailed. Pound CAD, I've got that buy on, which I'm holding because that's a very long-term 4-hour swing. And New Zealand dollar CAD, which I'm about to get stopped out on potentially. If this hasn't stopped me out by end of day, I will stop myself out of that. I'm not going to hold it over the weekend just in case something crazy happens, and especially with what's going on with the New Zealand and the Aussie at the minute. They've gone really weak, so I want to get out of that one as well. So it's either going to pretty much come out at break even or it's going to stop out, one or the other. Not a big trade anyway. Euro pound sell limit I can get rid of. Euro CAD never triggered. CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss, that's that position that missed me, and I got the other profit. And Euro CAD I've been sitting waiting for. So I'll hold this. I'll leave this one in the market because we are heading back up. I'm looking for a pullback up into this propulsion gap to take next leg down. We obviously started this bullish move, which I didn't want to take. So this is that 4-hour RSI extension starting to play out now. But I don't want to long the euro. I want to short it. So I'm waiting for us to, if we can break this level, come up into this propulsion gap and get me in. In fact, I'm going to move it down a little bit. Let's have a look at it on the hourly. Yeah, so that propulsion move, that second half of the propulsion move, I'm going to target that, which is 175 ADR today. It's got to break above there. It's got to get through this, and it's got to get through that. If it does, it'll probably get to there, and then it's going to get stuck and likely bounce there. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's all I got on. Nice move. Back in profit. I'm going to look into as well buying the data feed for the DAX and see if I can get the futures, the DAX futures feed, because it might be useful. I think it would be useful for DAX trading. Just no follow through from the buyers again. This area here, we've been holding shorts up here. They're all getting put back in again now. Look, as we're getting close. The buyers are not coming back in to prop up at the minute, so I'm worried about this 4200 again. We've basically taken out every level, run up, taken out, run up, hit, run up, taken out, running up. Just get the feeling we're going to try 42 today. It's bearish, and there's a big old target there for them. So every time we get anywhere near bullishness, we start to pull back. So we didn't manage to crack a new high. We have made three new higher lows. In fact, yes, my stop's there anyway, so I'm going to keep my stop where it is. I'm just going to let it play out. I'm either going to work. It's either going to work or it's not, isn't it? We're either going to try for that 4200 on the S&P, which means that's the EuroCAD, not the S&P, which means that the DAX will follow, or we're not going for that 4200 and we're pulling back into the range, which means that the trade will play out. So one way or the other, it's going to work or it's not. I'm not going to muck about moving my stops around. I'll just let it carry on and do what it's got to do. Just move my TPs into where I want them. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Nice even grand. There. So cheer for 14136, everybody. That's what we're after. But likelihood is it's going to disappear. Right, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'll be back at 7:50 on Monday. So no, I won't. It's bank holiday. I'll be back at 7:50 on Tuesday. So it's bank holiday in the UK. I'll do a quick rundown of the news quickly before I go now, because we need to obviously be aware of that. So Monday's bank holiday, I'm not here. We've got manufacturing PMIs. So obviously the market's going to be open, but there's going to be light liquidity because obviously London's shut. So you will still get a decent New York session, but there'll be light liquidity throughout Asia and throughout London. And usually we get light liquidity in New York as well, because they're not passing the order books over from London. So you tend to find that there's a lot less going on. They'll just be executing orders, but it won't be much speculative stuff going on Monday. We've got bank holiday again with the yen on Tuesday. Tuesday morning is the rate announcement. So if you are getting into anything on Monday, be aware of if it's Aussie dollar or New Zealand dollar based, you've got the rate increase for the Aussie dollar on Monday. We've got job openings on Tuesday. We've got job openings on Tuesday afternoon. Then Monday morning, Asian session, basically, we've got the New Zealand dollar unemployment as well. So big day Tuesday. Which you need to be aware of. Japan's got today off as well. It's a 4-day holiday in Japan. What is that? Why don't we get those? I'm moving to Japan. Yeah. Wow. No yen. Okay. So yeah, bank holiday, just be aware of that. I'm not quite sure what impact that's going to have, but quite often get a lot of yen movement when there's a bank holiday in Japan. It looks like we've got a 4-day yen movement coming up. We've got non-farm employment change on Wednesday ahead of FOMC. So FOMC is the biggie. We've got the rate increase coming. So we're going to get some big volatility off of the US dollar on Wednesday. We then have non-farm payroll on Friday. Which is obviously going to be a big spiky one, but it doesn't usually move the market a massive amount. It moves the market, but it doesn't tend to move the market long term. So it's just a volatility. I have no idea still why the market uses it, but it does. It just rips everybody's stops to pieces. We've got the monetary policy statement for the pound as well on Thursday, and the rates. So rate increases across the board next week, massive volatility. So literally every day next week you've got something that's going to massively move the market. So FX wise, you need to try and get yourself into positions a good half a day ahead of this stuff really, and try and build up a decent buffer. And if you want to trade the news, obviously, that's typical. We just had a massive volatility spike down on the DAX, and now it's collapsing and I'm stopping out. Boo, that's not how I wanted to end a Friday. Oh no, I'm not. Right, we've got a load of volatility coming in for some reason. You've just seen this light up. The DAX just collapsed. From here, it went, you see the gap, yeah? We just gapped from, it was actually from there, it jumped right as the candle closed all the way down to there, and we wicked down. Remember, I'm here. So this is just utter chop, but there's a lot of volatility just come into the market. Everything's just moved quite dramatically. Oh, it's the end of, oh no, it's not end of hour, it's 30-minute candle close. That's what that was. ADR, US dollar CAD as well. A lot of volatility coming in at the moment. May get this move, never know. So just be aware next week we've got massive news all week. So it's going to be a really volatile start to the month, which is good because we need volatility to make money. It's just obviously at the moment it's very difficult to get any directional bias on anything. And it's very difficult to understand what directional movement these rate increases are doing. Normally we would use the COT report, and the COT report tells us which direction as expected rate announcements are going to go. At the moment the COT report is really not very much use at all. It's not giving us directional bias properly. So I will have a look at the COT report this week, and I think really we can maybe use it for directional bias for the rate announcements. You've got to have a directional bias when these things come out, but we'll see what happens when the news comes in, and we'll just trade them as we see them. But it's hard at the minute, very hard to get an idea on direction. So Short term, all the indices will move on all of these as well. So if you're trading indices, every index will move on these news events, regardless of what country they're for. The stock market will go quiet before they come out, because funds are not just trading stocks, not just trading futures, options. They're trading cash as well. So they will hold all positions ahead of these, and when these come out, they will know what to do with their entire portfolios, which are made up of everything. So you'll find it all goes a bit quiet before them, and then we get that massive movement after, which is why we need to be aware of the news. First thing you look at every day. You need to be aware of what's going to be moving the market today. Lovely. Have a bit of that. I'm leaving my stop where it is, because my stop is basically underneath this candle now. Yeah. Happy Friday. I might let one run. In fact, I'm going to. I'm moving my top position TP up to there. I've got 3 positions on. Taking 2 off there. I'll let one run. Don't think we're going to get there. Do you know what I'm going to do? Just don't like this at the minute. I really don't like this. There's not enough buyers in the market. I'm just going to reduce size on it. I'm taking 1 profit. And I'm reducing risk down to here. I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's too. I don't believe these buyers. I really don't believe the buyers today. Not after this. So I've taken 1. I'm not really break even on it. I'm slight loss on it if we come down here. I'm probably going to regret not taking it all off, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I'll leave it there, guys. Have a good weekend. I'm back on Tuesday. We're down to 1 session next week. So the morning sessions at 7:50. We'll do all the FX analysis for the day. And obviously we'll trade the Frankfurt session. And then, that'll be it for the day. So I'm burning out doing 2 sessions a day. It's too much, and it's making me overtrade a little bit. So I want to concentrate on actually trading rather than running the live room more. But I will be posting in the Telegram group positions and everything that I'm taking. So I'll still let you know what I'm doing and what I think is going to happen. Just won't be doing it in the live environment. Just cut down my time a little bit. Okay, so have a good one. Hopefully you'll have a lovely weekend and profitable afternoon. I'll be back on Tuesday morning. Be aware of the news. Be aware of the rate announcements for Monday. And I will see you Tuesday. Have a good weekend.